GM, everyone. Thanks for showing up for Astar Tech Talks 3. The new release of Astar.js will be starting here shortly. Appreciate everybody showing up. Be sure to ask any questions. Feel free to go to the Ask a Question section, as well as checking out future Tech Talks that will be here on Crowdcast. We have Nikhil here with us today. He'll be presenting Astar.js. So how are you doing this afternoon, or what time is it your time?
Afternoon, yeah.
Afternoon. Well, appreciate you joining us. So I'll start here the presentation. I'll be sharing my screen and going through our syllabus here today. Okay. All right. I hope everyone can see that. All right. All right, so we'll get started here. So this is going to be Chapter 3, Building dApps using Astar.js. So today's agenda, Astar Network intro and Astar Tech Talks, Astar.js overview and use cases, architecture, live demo, and Q&A. So we'll be joining us through this presentation. There's a little bit of a sound coming from your end. I'm not sure if that's me. Nikhil? Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming from your end. Hopefully we can adjust that. But anyways, if you want to go ahead and go from here.
Yeah, can you share on top right? Do the slide so that would make the slide in full screen. Yeah, perfect. Yes, so as we all know that Astar Network is the future of smart contract for multi-chain, for WASM contracts as well as EVM contracts. Next slide, please. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah. So Astar is the innovation hub of Polkadot. It's mostly famous for WASM smart contract. So WASM smart contract empower developers, and developers can build complex dApps, use familiar languages, and directly access the runtime to extent. We also have dApp staking, where developer can earn money for developing dApps, and we have XVM cross virtual machines, which allows developers to call smart contract from one VM to another. For example, WASM to EVM. I think this will become more powerful as the ecosystem grows and more WASM apps comes forward. Next slide, please. So these talks are developers to developers. It's deep dive into technical topics, and after the talk, we will do a Q&A so that you can have your query resolved. And we are enabling developers to build powerful dApps on Astar Shiden Network, where our Astar Tech Talks. Next slide. So let me introduce Astar.js. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, it's a one-stop shop for developing front-end as well as Node.js dApps with TypeScript on Astar Network. It's a TypeScript software development kit, which include libraries for connecting to Astar Node and sending transaction to Astar Node and querying data from Astar Node. It includes proprietary types information corresponding to Astar Network so that you can do Astar specific things like dApp staking and ECDSA signature. It also contains various utilities and functions necessary to working with Astar networks and its proprietary palette methods. And developers can easily set up Astar.js for querying blockchain and sending transaction to a node. Next slide. So for setting up Astar.js in your development environment, you require Node.js. I recommend 18+ version and Yarn. So you can install yarn with an npm install slash dash g yarn for dependency management. And for setting up your app, you just have to create a folder, uh, create a package JSON with npm init dash y. It will ask for you to provide project name, etc. And then you add Astar Network, Astar API, which is the core uh, library for Astar.js, and you just connect to the node using this API by providing a WebSocket endpoint. Next slide. So, uh, alternatively, you can use this template. So, Astar Network slash Astar.js dApp template. This will be useful for uh, setting, having everything running from step one, and you just have to clone it, install dependency with yarn, and just do yarn start a example React project which has already all the dependency installed, including Astar.js core library and utilities functions. Next slide. These are the packages Astar.js provide. Much more is coming. So API contains the necessary options to create a connection to the API instance. API derive is derived from the core API methods. It contains proprietary functions to Astar.js, Astar Network. It also contains type definitions so that you can parse the response from node blockchain data. It contains SDK core API libraries, and pre-compiled ABIs for EVM smart contracts. Next slide. Yeah, this is the Astar.js architecture. Like it is essentially a wrapper over Polkadot.js, but with custom types and much more. So it contains type derived API, pre-compiles and utility packages, and connection libraries so that your dApp can connect to a blockchain. Next slide. This is somewhat blurry, but I think please share the slides with that uh, chat so that they can access it later. But this is an example. This is an example of connecting to a API instance. So you have to include Polkadot API and Astar Network Astar API, and the options part is used to provide a wrapper over Polkadot.js API. So you uh, create a new provider, any WebSocket provider for uh, node RPC endpoint. It could be on finality or by provided by Astar Network itself, and you get a new API that represents the connection to the blockchain node, and then you can do something like rpc.system.properties, which will show blockchain properties. Next slide. One other example is how to do a transaction. So to send a transaction, you do api.tx.balances.transfer from any account to any account. Uh, so you to transfer to a Bob account, you pass Bob's address in the transfer function, and if you're sending from your account, you pass your address in signed and send. And if the environment has a wallet configured like Polkadot.js, then you will get a pop-up uh, asking for confirming the transaction, and you can check the transaction hash by reading the return value. Next slide. Yeah, so let me share the screen and I will provide a simple demo. Yeah, so here here I am in, including all the dependency, importing all the dependency on top of my TypeScript file and connecting to Shiden and Astar networks. So to run the example, I have to run example. It is essentially a TS node at the backend, TypeScript node, and it's printing the blockchain properties. The next example is about extrinsics. So let's say we want to find out what's the uh, block data for any particular block. I have chosen 2297834 block. So we will do api.rpc.chain.get block hash. And with the block hash, we can do get block to get the block information. And with the block information, we can check how many extrinsics are there and inspect all the details of this extrinsic. So if I run it again, it will print out the extrinsic information. These warnings can be ignored because these are due to package dependency included multiple times. So it has printed out what the extrinsic hash was and uh, what extrinsic was all about. So this extrinsic was parachain system.set validation data, and it's sending the WebAssembly binary data. Other than that, we have some Ethereum transactions. Gas price is low right now. Yep. And you can find everything you can do via Astar.js wiki. So you can go to the Astar.js repository, and there is a wiki link, and we have cookbooks for doing everything you can do with Astar.js. So the example we just saw, how to retrieve blocks and extrinsic information and so on. Nice. So I think you can share the slide again, Dustin.
Okay. Oh, Ivan mentioned to increase font size and scroll slower. Well, we passed the demo, unfortunately.
Yeah, all this
But
information
yes.
is in the slides, and you can find it, all the links on the slides.
Okay, so we'll share the slides. Okay, I'll be sharing my screen again, guys. All right, so we'll be having our Q&A session now. So anyone that has any questions, we had one proper question previously. Does Web 3.0 help decentralized trading platform?
Yes. So as you have all seen that centralized trading platforms are not good for Web3. It's the philosophy of crypto is your keys and your coins. So never share your coins with anyone and use decentralized platform only. For example, on Astar, there's ArtSwap and various other decentralized trading platform. And Web3 does help decentralized trading platform, and decentralized trading platform helps Web3 in return. And if you guys have any funds on centralized platforms, even on Coinbase, I recommend you to get it out and learn to make a wallet. It's very easy task.
Yeah, I agree. This is
Web,
something we've all been speaking about this whole time is, not your keys, not your crypto, and centralized exchanges are going to be, they're in a position to extract customers' funds. So yeah, definitely, if you can, please self-custodial your tokens immediately. And there's a lot of tutorials on how to make wallets. So yeah, we have another question here going on. What version of Web3.js is for Astar?
yeah, so Web3.js is different than Astar.js. Web3.js is used for uh, transaction on EVM chains, so you can only get EVM data with Web3.js. Astar.js is also with Astar.js you can also get EVM data, but you can get much more than that. You can also get substrate chains data like Astar Network, Shiden Network, and you can interact with WASM contracts as well with Astar.js.
Hmm, okay. Uh, all right. Well, hope that answers your question, DeFi guy. Um, can Astar.js build a UI front ends too?
Yes, Astar.js is primarily used for building UI front ends. And the example I gave, I ran with Node.js. So that same script can be run on front end and you will get the data on front end.
Okay. Hope that answers your question as well. There was another question in the chat about NTT Docomo. If you want to check out our previous community crowdcasts, Sota answered a lot of those questions. So go ahead and check that out, our previous talks, and you'll get some more information about that. I do have some questions myself here. So how can Astar or Astar.js help dApp developers get up to speed on setting up development environment?
Yeah. So if you are building a dApp, you have to include so many dependencies. You have to set up your development environment. You have to install Node. Uh, you have to initialize your repository. All that is done in Astar.js template dApp for you. So you can quickly just clone and just start building your dApp, and it will help you get up to speed to develop your dApp.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good. We need more better tooling in this space for sure. Um, so community question there. What are the differences in OPC codes, OP codes between Ethereum EVM and a Star EVM?
Yeah. So Ethereum EVM is running on Ethereum virtual machine, and Astar EVMs are like the new EVM is the WASM EVM, and you can like they are similar in sense that both of them do transactions in like Astar blockchain, but WASM opcodes are much more efficient and faster and uh, consume less gas than Ethereum EVM. You can say.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Um, Hope that answers your question, Thomas. Is Astar.js for WASM smart contracts too?
Yes. So using Astar.js, you can interact with your WASM smart contracts. You cannot do this with Web3.js. Uh, Astar.js is a required dependency for interacting with WASM smart contracts. So it's the
Okay,
alternative tooling from Ethereum world.
very nice. Hope that answers your questions, Ivan. Let's go back to my questions here. So what's the difference between Astar.js and Polkadot.js?
Yeah. So Polkadot.js is for generic substrate chain and Polkadot and Kusama chains. Astar.js is a wrapper on top of Polkadot.js, which includes all the functionality that Polkadot.js can do, plus what Astar Network can do. For example, Astar Network can do dApp staking, ECDSA signatures. All these features are not available with Polkadot.js. You can uh, do with Astar.js.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. So it's specific to a star compared to Polkadot.js is just kind of broad. So that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, there's documentation on Astar.js?
Yes, so Astar.js documentation is available in Astar.js wiki, which you can, uh, which is included in these slides as well. And there's also more documentation on docs.astar.network.
Okay, there it is, guys. So you check out more there. And let's see, we've got some more questions here. Where to ask questions about doubts on Astar.js. So like Is there any like forums or anywhere we can have a
So,
conversation about?
so I recommend everyone to join Astar Discord. There you can ask all your doubts. The core team hangs out there and can answer your technical questions. Also, if you have uh, some questions, you can ask at Stack Exchange substrate.stackexchange.com with tag Astar.js, and I am personally monitoring all those questions and try to answer every day.
Sure. Yeah. If there's any questions for the community, please feel free to join us in our Discord. Um, so, how far along is Astar.js development?
Yes, so this is the new release of Astar.js which we added more utility functions. We increased the version for all the dependencies, solved some security bugs, and like it's continuous process as Polka.js uh, improves and Astar networks improves. We will keep improving Astar.js as well to
All
to
right.
bring to you new features and development tools.
Makes sense. So I guess it's just a loaded question, I guess. So is Astar.js going to replace Polka.js?
No, Astar.js is not a replacement for Polka.js. Astar.js is specific to Astar network.
Yes.
Polka.js is a generic tool which you can use with any substrate chain. And if you can provide the types to Polka.js, uh, you just use Polka.js, but you will not have all the functionalities.
Mm,
But you can do simple tasks like transactions and querying block data. With Astar.js, you can do much more. And it's not a replacement, it's specific to Astar network.
mm. Okay. Yeah, that's so it's not going to replace it, but definitely has more use cases and more in depth when it comes to a star. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we mentioned how the community can get involved. So is there anything we didn't uh, touch on about how the community can join to get started with the Star.js?
Yes, like start building dApps with Astar.js, and on Astar you get the benefit that if you build a dApp and it's get famous, you can earn money with dApp staking because we gives rewards to developers, not just takers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we are build to earn a program. So if anybody wants to join dApp staking, you instantly have a stream of income. So definitely join, learn more about Star.js and the Star. So yeah, we could share the next slide here. More information, some useful links. So join the docs, like we mentioned. Join our Discord. Uh, so join our Astar Tech Talks. We have these pretty often, so you can check out our previous talks that we had. We had our Q4 quarterly, so definitely check that out. Check our YouTube channel. We have more videos being uploaded, and test for tech for from the talks. We have our templates, a GH repo for our GitHub, so you can check out the JS dApp templates. Astar.js, check out our GitHub on that, as well as our docs at docs.astar network. Check out more there. And well, appreciate everybody showing up. If there's any words you want to share with everybody before we leave, uh,
Yeah, thank you for joining the talk and keep building, guys. This is the best time to build.
links.
The
Oh,
uh, apps which will get built and will become famous in bear market will make the most amount of money in the next bull market, I think. So this is the best time to build.
yeah, we really appreciate everybody joining us today. Building on a star, we have so much potential. 2023 is going to be huge for a star. We have a huge campaign coming out, so definitely stay tuned. More partnerships coming out. Uh, yeah, there's so many partnerships down the line. Sota's working really hard to build and across the world, building out Japan. Huge partnerships coming out. So yeah, we'll be sharing this information. Let me exit my slide here, or sharing. So yeah, I will share all the links with you guys. So let's start here. Okay. So all right, I'm gonna share all these links with you guys. So. So those and there. Okay, and then so share the slide with everybody as well. Nikhil.
We can see it.
So I could share the slide in the chats, or
Yeah,
is
let me share the link.
okay, cool, thanks. Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah. So check out all the slides from this talk. Check out future crowdcasts as well as previous ones as well. So I appreciate the community. Appreciate Nikhil joining us today, explaining Astar.js, and hope to see you guys building on Astar with the dApp staking. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye
Have a
bye.
good day.